Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Anna and I make New York City based adventure videos spiked with love and positivity. Today, we are back for another DIY craft project. My previous DIY project was a big hit, and so I have come back with another winter skirt for you. This, you may notice, is the same color as the previous winter skirt that I made, because let's admit it, I had leftover yarn. So this is what I did with the leftover yarn that I had from my previous skirt project. This is such a lovely winter crocheted skirt. I think it's so fun and festive. Not just for the holidays, but for any winter event. If you have a birthday coming up, a family gathering, if you're going to the theater, I think it's perfect for all of those events. I did get some inspiration from YouTube with some of the stitches that you'll notice in this tutorial, but overall this is my design. So we have this really nice waistband followed by the body of the skirt and then that beautiful ending at the bottom. It looks lacy from very far away. And my favorite part of this skirt is this silky thread that we have embedded at the bottom part of this skirt. I think it adds that extra fun flair and it's so nice. I also love that the waistband is cinched and you can tie that around your waist and it just sits perfectly. There is no need for elastics or anything extra up there at the top. So if you're interested in knowing how I made this winter skirt, then please keep watching. Be sure to follow me on Instagram where I have posted my first and second crochet projects. The first one was a top and the second one was a skirt, and so this third one is another lovely skirt. I used this chocolate colored yarn from Line Brand Yarns called Fisherman's Wool. It's 100% wool and super warm for the winter. You'll also need a 5mm crochet hook. I'll leave all the materials you need for this project linked in the description box. To begin, make a slip knot. Here I'm showing you how to do that. Now we're ready to begin crocheting. We're going to make a chain of 12. Then we'll do one more for a total of 13. This last one is part of the turning chain. Then we'll work our way back into each stitch and do single crochets. For these single crochets, you'll enter each stitch, pull through, and then pull through the last two and keep repeating that. When we get to the end, we'll do a chain of 1 and turn our work. This is what we have so far. All good things start small like this, don't they? And then we're going to work into the back loop here. So we're going to do the same single crochet, working our way into the back loop here. And you'll see that this is going to create a nice waistband. What I'll be showing you here is a small replica of what your stitches are going to be and how the skirt is going to look. When you get to the end of each row, you're going to chain 1 and flip your work. And then you're going to continue making the waistband for as long as you'd like it to be. I recommend making the waistband wide enough to fit over your hips so that at the end we don't have to worry about any increases along the hip area. This is going to be a very simple skirt, and so if you make the waistband as wide as your hips, you'll be able to pull the skirt up, and then at the end, when you insert the drawstring, you'll be able to tighten it around your waist. If you're holding your crochet project between 2 fingers and then look down at it, then you'll be able to see the back loop that we're working into. You can already see the ridges that are forming here. I'm going to continue for another 2 rows. This 100% wool yarn is not stretchy. It's great for skirt projects because it will keep you warm during the winter, and it will be a very thick material and it doesn't lose its shape. But what's great about making the waistband like this with these ridges that you see in it is that it will allow some flexibility around this waistband. So you will end up being able to stretch it out. Another good advantage is that we will not need to sew in an elastic at the top of this skirt. Also, I'm not a fan of infinity loops. So while a lot of crochet scarf or skirt projects may incorporate an infinity loop, this project does not, and I find it to be much easier. So next step, I am going to show you how to work on the body of the skirt. Again, this is just a replica of the larger skirt, but I wanted to show you everything that we'll be doing in the larger version. Okay, so you're gonna work your way around and make this as long as your waistband will be. Remember to measure it around your hips. So you're gonna continue working on your waistband, but now I'm going to show you a miniature version of this skirt right here. So after you have the skirt, and you see it's gonna have these ridges, and this is gonna be as long as your hips are, then we're gonna start working our way down this way to make the main part of the skirt. So what we're gonna do once you're here is we'll do half double crochets. So we're going to work our way across by yarning over, inserting, pulling through one, and pulling through all three. So you want to yarn over, insert, pull through one, and then pull through all three. And that's how we're going to make the rest of the skirt. When you get to the end, you're going to chain one and turn your work. We'll do the same half double crochets. This time, note that we're working into the back loop here. There it is. So you're going to yarn over, insert, pull through one, and pull through all three. Each time you get to the end of the row, you will chain one and flip your work. So this is a mini version of the skirt. As you can see, we're already getting our rows here. I'll do a few more rows to demonstrate. So now we're at the end. This is going to be your waistband, and this is going to be the bottom part of your skirt. Now I'm going to show you this in a bigger version. Ready? This is the fun part. You get to see it magically growing. Here it is. As you can see, I've worked and made the waistband long. I've already started working on the main part of the skirt. The more you crochet, the longer it's going to be. You can make it as long or as short as you'd like it. As a reminder, we're not going to worry about making any increases along the hip area because we've already made the waistband as wide as our hips, and this assures that we can easily get the skirt on. After you've made the skirt as long as you want it to be, we will work on the bottom part. Chain 4 before starting your double crochets. So once you chain 4, you'll flip your work over to this side and begin working on the bottom part of the skirt. You'll yarn over, skip a stitch, and then work your way into the second one here by inserting, pulling through one. Now you have 3 loops on your hook. You'll go through just 2 of them, and then finally pull through the last 2. before you start your next double crochet, you chain 1, skip a stitch, and continue the double crochets in the same way. We're almost done with the skirt. Here I have folded it in half, and you see the waistband up there, the body of the skirt, and then there's this beautiful lacy ending. Now we'll add some accent yarn near the bottom of the skirt. This is optional, but I think it adds a fun touch. We're going to add this silky, frilly yarn to give the skirt that fun and festive flair. I'm not sure what brand this yarn is, since I had this one at home for many years, but I found something similar online, so I'll leave the link to that in the description box. I've laid the skirt flat on the table and cut enough of this silky yarn to go over the bottom part twice like this. Put this shiny yarn on a yarn needle. We'll now work into the very bottom 2 rows. So first, start with the bottommost row. Go from underneath, over the top of 2 stitches, and then slightly underneath 1. It's easy to see if you peel the stitches apart with your fingers. So again, go over the top of 2 stitches and slightly underneath 1. I'm not going underneath the whole stitch. I'm just finding a piece of yarn and slightly going underneath it and weaving it through the skirt until I reach the end that I cut. From the underside, you should not be able to see any frilly yarn. When you get to the end of this row, weave your way back from left to right. This will make the frilly yarn look more dense. Once you're finished with this bottommost row, do the next row on top of it in the same way. Then skip 4 rows before you do the next 2 rows. You can do as much of this frilly yarn as you like. I think it looks nice just a little bit at the bottom. So in total, I did 4 rows of this frilly, silky looking yarn. And so here we go. This is the finished product. How beautiful is that? The next step is to close up the skirt. So we're going to use the same yarn and our yarn needle and stitch up these sides. I have flipped the skirt inside out, and I have my yarn needle ready. And we're just simply going to find matching stitches and sew them closed. Once you're done sewing the ends closed, this is how it should look like from the outside. It's a pretty seamless finish. For some reason, I thought I was going to need a zipper, so I only stitched it halfway up and then I put the zipper on the other half of the skirt leading up to the waistband, but I really didn't need this. So the zipper is super optional. It turns out that if you make the waistband large enough to fit over your hips, then you really do not need a zipper. But I did the zipper and this is what it looked like at the end, so it was also a very nice seamless finish. Finally, I'm going to show you how to make the drawstring at the top. I used a slightly different colored yarn here. Take that piece of yarn and double it so that it's thicker. First, you're going to make a slip knot, and then you're going to make a chain of around 200. Once you have your chain of 200, then you're going to weave it through the waistband. We're gonna use our yarn needle again and put the drawstring waistband on the yarn needle, and then we're gonna thread it through the skirt. So we're gonna start our way in the front and we're going to go on top of 1 and then underneath 2 of these rows. Here you see me doing it right in the middle of the waistband, but I later redid it and moved this drawstring to the topmost part of the skirt, as I found that it cinched the waist better when it was higher up. And here is the completed crocheted skirt.
It looks wonderful. I hope that you wear it well and that it keeps you warm in the winter months.
If you're interested in the DIY project I made before this one for the winter pencil skirt, then I will leave the link to that video in the description box. Thanks so much for watching this week's video. I really hope you enjoyed this tutorial and I can't wait to see how your winter skirt turns out. Send me a comment down below if you decide to try out this project and let me know how it goes for you. Also, feel free to send any pictures my way as well. I'd be really happy to see them. Please don't forget to subscribe and like this video. It helps my channel out a lot. And turn on that notification bell so you don't miss my videos when they go live on Thursday evenings. In the meantime, let's keep in touch on Instagram at Miss Anna Adventures. I will be back with more New York City-based adventure videos soon. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Bye!